Hello, my name is Courtney Schneiderite. This is a screencast narration of a presentation on 4 informal assessments, their possible classroom uses, types of assistive technology or other ed tech to enhance the informal assessment, and advantages and disadvantages of each type. Informal assessment is used to evaluate student progress and identify areas in which students might need more instruction. It is not data-driven, rather content and performance-driven. It helps teachers identify students' strengths and weaknesses and guide planning for upcoming lessons before students are required to demonstrate understanding on a formal evaluation. Characteristics. It is pertinent to the content and applicable to real life, appropriate to the target population of students, has clear procedures for the purpose of the assessment and the scoring with set criteria and rubrics, and provides constructive feedback which will direct any necessary interventions and accommodations. The first informal assessment that I will talk about is observation. Observation is done mainly by the teacher to identify student behaviors, document performance, and make decisions. It is intentionally planned to assess student ability. Look for signs of excitement, engagement, boredom, or frustration. For the teacher, any signs of engagement or excitement might show that the students are interested and have motivation. Boredom might show that students already understand the content and are ready to move on, or some are ready for enrichment activities. Frustration might show that some students are not understanding the content and you may need to reassess how you are teaching or provide accommodations. The teacher may take notes or use a checklist to monitor progress. Assistive tech that could be used to help make sure that students are assessed equitably includes speech-to-text apps or screen reader software. Teachers can use note-taking apps such as Evernote, OneNote, or Notability, or checklist apps such as Microsoft To-Do or Todoist. Formative ed tech tools that could be used include Nearpod and Pear Deck. Advantages. Overall, students often do not know that they are being observed and will therefore not modify their behavior. It does not take much prep or planning time. Advantages to ed tech, specifically with Pear Deck that I have used frequently, all students can answer independently on their devices, and then the teacher can activate the dashboard to get immediate data and adjust instruction accordingly. The teacher can also save student responses and download each to the student's Google Drive. Disadvantages. Overall, may not be able to observe all students at one time, thereby missing certain behaviors or tasks. Some students may not perform to their ability if the motivation is not there or if it is not tied to a grade. I often have my high school students ask me, are we getting graded on this? And I have told them again and again that whenever we do a formative assessment in my class, I can grade them and they should take this seriously. The disadvantage to Pear Deck specifically is that the free version is limited. However, my school district has a paid license and that they renew each year. The second informal assessment I'd like to talk about is work samples. Classroom uses. It is a collection of work that demonstrates what students know and are able to do. It emphasizes students' thinking and learning, not formal composition skills. The learner is the primary audience, but it can be shared to promote learning and understanding of content, and it is done regularly in the classroom. Assistive tech for students, speech-to-text apps or dictation software, or tech to help with handwriting, such as touchscreens and keyboards. Formative ed tech tools, Padlet, which is an online bulletin board for students and teachers to share and collaborate, or a discussion forum on an LMS. Advantages to Padlet: you can share text, upload files, and the moderator can approve comments before postings. We use the LMS of Schoology in my district, so an advantage to that is that you can enable the function so that students must post before seeing other responses and therefore cannot copy off each other. Disadvantages to Padlet and discussions: it would not work well for single answer questions because then students could copy off each other, and students could also post silly or inappropriate answers. The third informal assessment is interviews. These are engaging students in discussion through questioning. Questions should be at all levels of Bloom's taxonomy to gain insight into children's learning, can be done live or recorded on video platforms with a teacher or other students. Assistive tech: you could use low-tech or high-tech AAC devices, which are augmentative and alternative communication devices. Those could be used for students who have speech communication difficulties, or screen reader software. Formative ed tech tools: Flipgrid, which is a video discussion platform, Linked, which is used to create listening and speaking assignments, or WeVideo, which is a video editing platform. Advantages of using ed tech to record interviews is that it saves class time because students can record all at one time, and the interviews can be uploaded to your LMS for sharing, and the teacher then can grade them at a later time. Disadvantages specifically to linked: there is a free version which is limited in number of students and assignments. Again, my department budget pays for the premium version, so therefore we have an unlimited amount of those. Live in-person interviews can take a lot of class time. And another disadvantage of interviews in general is that many students have a fear of speaking. So students should practice this often and frequently in the classroom before it comes to an assessment that might be tied to a grade. The fourth informal assessment is exit slips or tickets. Students complete exit slips before leaving the classroom to gauge what students have learned about the topic and determine areas which need more explanation. It engages learners to review concepts by answering sentence starters, such as the number of things I have learned today, questions I have, or what I found interesting. Assistive tech could be speech-to-text software. There are a variety of formative edtech tools, such as Google Forms, which has different question types, Socrative, which is a cloud-based response system, Plickers, which is when students hold up printable paper clickers, Poll Everywhere, which can collect live responses and see instant results, Lino, which is a cloud-based sticky note tool, Padlet, or Pear Deck. Advantages: these help students reflect on what they are learning or share misunderstandings with the teacher in a nonverbal way. They're easy to use and take little time away from instruction. EdTech provides the variety and flexibility, and again, nonverbal ways to show the teacher if there are any misunderstandings. Disadvantages: the students may not take them seriously if they are not attached to a grade or maybe might be completed at the end of class. Overuse of exit slips would cause boredom. Specifically, I've experienced a disadvantage with Poll Everywhere with delayed response times. And again, Pear Deck has the limited free trial, and you would really need the premium version to be able to do more things with it. In summary, informal assessments help teachers to monitor student progress by pinpointing students' strengths and weaknesses, which will guide planning for upcoming lessons. You can engage learners in a review of skills, concepts, and experiences. It provides vital student feedback without the stress of formal assessments and can be enhanced by assistive technology or educational technology. This is a word cloud that I found online when I did a Google search of informal assessment, and I found it very appropriate to show all these kinds of important words that are a part of informal assessment. Thank you very much.